Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's recipe is bread pudding. I feel like every culture has their version of one, including the Caribbean. So here we go. Our ingredients, we have some white loaf bread, but you can use brown if you have that, preferably stale bread. We have some spices, nutmeg, cinnamon and allspice, eggs and some lovely soft brown sugar. We've got some dried soaked fruit which is left over from the black cake recipe which I've just put above. So if you follow that, it will show you how to soak the fruit and how much the quantities are. To start with, you want to slice your bread into cubes. Just a rough chop, they don't have to be neat at all. Again, it's better if this bread is stale because it just soaks up the custard a lot better. Place that in a bowl, set it aside. Now we're going to prepare the custard. So I've got some eggs here. Give them a quick whisk. We want to add our brown sugar. Give it another quick whisk. Next we want to add our milk into our egg and sugar mix and give that another stir. Then we're going to add our condensed milk. This is going to make the custard even more rich than usual. Now for our spices, I've got some cinnamon and ground allspice. Also some vanilla. This is vanilla extract. Then we're going to add some fresh grated nutmeg. And just grate that straight into the bowl. So that's our custard done. Just going to give that a good whisk. Because there's condensed milk in there, make sure that you're getting right to the bottom so it's not all lumpy. Everything's evenly incorporated, and then we can just set that aside. Next we're going to melt some butter. Once that's melted, just set it aside. We're going to add our cubed bread to a nice big bowl. Then we're going to pour over all of that melted butter. And that's just going to make this extra rich. Some people butter their bread, but I just find this way works. Next, we're going to add our soaked dried fruits that we would have used in our black cake. So just pour that into the bread mix with the butter and mix it together. Finally, you want to pour over the custard. Just make sure everything is absolutely coated and absorbs all of that liquid, because that is what flavors the whole pudding. So once it's all mixed, it should look like this, all nice and mushy. So now we just want to add it to our baking tin, which has been greased already, and just pack it right up. Even if it's coming over the top, that's absolutely fine because it will hold its shape in the oven. Pack it in so it's nice and tight. And just before we get ready to bake it, we're going to sprinkle the top with a little Demerara sugar. That will just make the top nice and crispy and golden brown. And that's basically ready to bake. So this is going to go in the oven for about an hour on 160. But again, you know when it's cooked, when it's nice and golden brown and it's a little firm to touch. Here we have it. Here's our bread pudding. Nice and golden. Nice and set. Honestly, this is probably one of the best I've ever made. So before we serve this, we have to allow it to cool, because the way we serve it, especially in the Caribbean, is it's kind of set like a sliced bread. So make sure you let it sit. Don't get too excited before you're ready to cut this. And here we go. Just beautifully dense and packed. Little bit of dried fruit in there. You can always add more if you like. So I hope you like this one, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until the next time, peace and love.